Hey there, Aquarius. It's Scullysa T. Thank you so much for joining me on my channel to see what I see for you guys for the second half of July, July 16th through the 31st, 2019. And I just want to say, as always, that not all messages that I am relaying are going to resonate with everybody watching. But feel free to come back to me next week for the weekly elementals, and then again for the first half of August to see if that resonates a little bit better for you. Until then, feel free to check out any of the other wonderful readers on YouTube because they are plenty. All right, guys. So for you guys, I am going to be using one of my favorite decks and also a deck that I've had for quite some time, and that is the Steampunk Tarot. And if you guys could hit that like button for me, I would greatly, greatly appreciate it. Love you forever. All right, Aquarius, let's get into it. Let's see what's going on for you guys for the second half of July. And I hope the first couple weeks were, better than they have been. And because I know we got the Mercury retrograde going on right now, so I know that it is very difficult for a lot of people. So I hope it's been somewhat, a situation that you guys can handle. But let's see what's going on for the next couple of weeks. All right, Aquarius, what is going on? What's going on? Oh, guys. All right. I'm seeing some good things. Okay, so I'm feeling like, you guys have been in a state of where you're kind of juggling things right now. Two of Pentacles could be juggling like life and, career and love, whatever, love and family, whatever fits best for you. And I feel as though, you've been really trying to move forward with the Six of Swords. I feel as though recently you guys got a message about some kind of passion. Somebody, is letting you know that they feel very passionate towards you. And I feel like you guys were completely ecstatic about this with the Sun card. Okay, obstacles surmounted, divine union. This is also connected to the Lovers card. So this is great. This seems like as though this was a karmic union, something that was very much built on something more than just, sex or, temporary emotion is what I'm getting. I'm feeling as though in the past you guys had to walk away from something here with the Eight of Cups, and that may have been because you felt and you discovered that you had other options. You didn't have to stay beholden to something that was not serving you or really giving you what you deserved. And I feel like this may have been something that was causing you a lot of strife with the Five of Wands. There may have been competition that may have kind of, dulled the union. And I feel like for a while you guys were just resting. With the Four of Swords, you were just kind of taking it easy. Let's look a little bit deeper into these lovely cards, though, the Sun and the Lovers. Let's get some clarity on that. Okay. So what I'm feeling here is that, you guys were, pretty happy to think that there could have been some kind of a match, okay? And I do feel like this was somebody or is somebody that, like I said, it's a deeper connection. It's not just a superficial, go on a date type thing and, you're interested. I feel like this was something a bit deeper. I am feeling, though, that this may have been some in and out energy here with the Knight of Wands card. The Knights are very, they're a bit tumultuous. They'll come charging in, but then they'll retreat just as fast. So you may be dealing with some kind of a situation where it was not built on a firm foundation with the Tower card here. The Tower card is about, great external transformation because the foundation was faulty. It just wasn't something that was meant to be solid for long. I feel like, the idea of some kind of a commitment may have been brought up. And I feel as though, perhaps there was something that, didn't quite seem right. You know what I mean? I feel like you guys picked up on something with the Queen of Swords here. The Queen of Swords is very, very perceptive. She's very much a person who, you know, calls things as she sees them. She's very quick to, you know, decipher the truth in a situation, and she doesn't, you know, fear speaking her truth, okay? So what I'm feeling here is though that you know, you may have met somebody that you were pretty interested in. I do feel like it is a karmic situation, but there was something that was just a little bit off about it, okay? And I feel as though you may have thought, you know, as of recently, that maybe it's better for you to be alone with the Nine of Pentacles. Let's look a little bit deeper into this. Let's see if this is going to go anywhere. Yeah, see, I'm seeing you guys are really feeling as though you need to be very hermity at this point. The Hermit card is also about seeking that inner knowledge. So, you know, maybe figuring out, you know, what went wrong. What was your part in the situation where, you know, this union that could be something deeper, you know, just didn't seem to get off the ground. And I got the Devil card here. So part of the situation could be that, you know, there were some issues with communication. So perhaps an old coping mechanism is of yours or the partner that I'm talking about could be that you're, you know, not very good at expressing emotion. You know, you tend to keep a lot of things in, which could, you know, exude this, you know, aura of secrecy or not being able to trust or be trusted. Okay. The Devil card is also about temptation and, you know, addictions, things of that nature. So there could have been something that was standing in the way of this union, or maybe something that this union was built on. So in other words, maybe you guys knew each other from the local bar scene. You know what I mean? Not that there's anything wrong with going to a bar, but perhaps this person is somebody who is somewhat of a barfly. So they're there pretty much all the time, which could indicate, you know, maybe, you know, a codependency on alcohol or, you know, on temporary engagements, things of that nature. Okay, so something of that nature, I think this Devil card is trying to exude. I do feel, though, guys, that there is love there with the Two of Cups. I do feel like there is the potential for love if it's not yet quite bloomed into love, okay? And I feel like whatever this temporary separation that you guys are, you know, going through, I do feel like it is just that. I do feel like it is temporary. Because I do feel like there is something deeper here, but I feel like there wasn't enough at the time to get it off the ground, okay? And that would be very frustrating, right? Because you were really happy to come into this. Yeah. Yeah, see, I feel like this person, or maybe you, could be very much, you know, as opposed to really talking about your feelings, could be very closed off and a bit emotionally detached, okay? And I feel like that could be because of something that happened in the past with the Five of Cups. So maybe somebody is not quite over a situation from the past. Perhaps somebody got cheated on in the past, or, you know, they never really experienced a kind of reciprocal love. And maybe that's what's keeping, you know, this person or yourself from really stepping into something real, okay? But I am feeling as though you guys do have something real here. I do feel like, you know, the ones I'm tapping into, you guys have met this person, and you may be on, you know, kind of a pause right now. But I don't feel like it's going to last. I feel like there is going to be some kind of, you know, working on it for the future here with the Eight of Pentacles. And I'm also getting the Page of Pentacles, which is one of my date cards. So I do feel like you guys are going to be coming back together, quite possibly in the next couple of weeks, okay? So, yeah. Yeah. Because you guys haven't stopped watching each other. With the Page of Swords. Page of Swords is one of my spy cards. Page of Swords is one who is, you know, looking at social media or asking other people about, you know, one another, things of that nature. It's also a message about what one thinks, okay? So I do feel like there is going to be communication between you and this person if there was a current separation, something of that nature. These are the ones that I'm tapping into. And I do feel like that's because there is something deeper. I do feel like this is a foundation that can be worked on, but some old barriers need to be, you know, recognized and demolished. And that's what that Tower card is all about. It's about taking things that no longer hold you up or serve you to be able to make room for something new, for new rebuilding, okay? So yeah, I would say fret not, and as I say that, yay, we get the Ace of Cups. This is about new beginnings with emotions. This is about an offer of a cup of emotion, okay? Emotional epiphanies. And the Wheel of Fortune. What did I tell you guys? This is something that is karmic and divinely inspired. Wheel of Fortune is about fate, karma, destiny. It's also about quick opportunity. So they may be coming back in very quickly, or you may be, you know, extending to them very quickly. Yeah, I feel like I'm getting some negative cards here. Three of Swords and the Seven of Swords, which is about sneaky behavior. I'm feeling like this isn't really something that's been done within this particular union. I feel as though this is stuff that's been done in the past with past relationships for either one or both of you. And I feel as though that's what's keeping you guys kind of very, you know, in stasis, not wanting to move forward with this, just out of fear that this person is going to end up to be the same as what you've dealt with in the past, or, you know, this person is feeling that way about you. I do feel like after a little bit of time with the Hanged Man, a little time apart, I do feel like there is going to be a different point of view that's going to be seen. And I do feel like you guys are just point blank going to miss each other. So I do feel like there is going to be some kind of message exchange in the next couple of weeks that will enable you guys to, you know, work on the foundation. All right. And the foundation takes two complete people that have been working on their own demons, you know, to build something a bit healthier than maybe what it was set on before. Okay, like before it could have just been on, you know, this really great, you know, mutual desire that you had for one another, or, you know, just living in the moment type thing. But those types of things do not last forever. And I feel like that's why you guys had to have this little bit of a break or a separation to be able to rediscover that, you know what, I like this person, I love this person enough to try to work on this, to work on myself, and to work on the mutual, you know, issues that we share. Okay? Wow, Aquarius, it's looking as though, you know, there may have been a bit of a separation, but I do feel like there is going to be a coming together with somebody that you have some kind of a karmic relationship with. And I do feel like if the work is put into it, it can become that divine partnership that we saw with the Sun and with the Lovers and with that Two of Cups card. Okay? Guys, if you need me to look into your situation a little bit deeper, feel free to contact me at the email address below, and I would be happy to set up something for you guys to see, you know, what we could see about your particular situation. Okay? Aquarius, I love you. I hope this was helpful, and I will definitely be back for the weekly elementals, and then again for the first half of August already. Oh my God, time is flying. Guys, I hope this was helpful again, and I will be seeing you soon. Bye.